real quickie today. Mercedes G500 w463 chassis G-wagon. Was driving the other day and I have the multi-contour seat. Pulled all the little buttons off. I'm actually missing two, so if anybody knows where I can get two of these little cap buttons for there, love to know. Anyway, I think I can just probably have them 3D printed, probably, couldn't I? Yeah, that's probably my best bet. Anyway, the air controls here are just this little control here. It fills in and deflates bladders inside of the seat. So what happens is when you start your car, for the first 20 or 30 seconds, your pump is good. Your pump will work if your pump's working. If your air pump is good, it will work, and for the first 20 or 30 seconds, it will pump air. So it pumps air, and then this either lets them out. You can hear a little air escaping, or when you push it in the white direction, it will pump it up. But the car's not on right now, so it's not pumping. So when you first start, the pump gets 20 to 30 seconds of pumping. If it senses a leak in the system at that time, it will shut the pump off to keep the pump from overheating and blowing itself up and just like killing itself. So if your seat switches work for the first 20 or 30 seconds after you start the car, and then they don't work anymore, you have an air leak somewhere. And that's, now it's time to test and find where to get the air, where the air leak is going to be. Now this little thingy is very simple to remove. There's a white tab at the front and the back. Simply pull on that. I heard a little air hiss. There's one on the back. I just put the seat all the way forward in order to get to these. Slide it up. And there's those little air channels, and there's the little air nipples that attach them. You see the little rubber seal around them. Those can dry out over time and will leak, and if it leaks, then your pump is going to turn off after 20 or 30 seconds. So as I said, if your car, if they work for the first 20 or 30 seconds and then stop, your problem is in an airline, and most likely in this thing right here that gets bumped back and forth as you're sitting in the seat. All I did was take some dielectric grease for greasing electrical contacts, put it in each one of those little holes, just rubbed it around with a Q-tip, slide it back on, wiggle it around a little bit. Works perfectly now every single time. Anyway, you can also chase the air lines. I mean, if that doesn't work and you've actually got a leak somewhere else, you're just gonna have to chase the air lines under the seat, and it goes down under the rear passenger floor is where the pump is. And I'm glad I don't have to pull that out, because that's a lot of work to pull that out. But this is just a quick, simple first thing to check. If you turn the key on and your pump doesn't work, this is probably not your problem. Your pump's probably no good. Check your fuse, trace down to the pump. But for a simple, quick, easy test, if it works for the first 20 or 30 seconds and goes off, it is more than likely this multi-contour seat switch adjuster, and it's probably just those little seals in there have dried out. A little Vaseline would probably work too. Electrical dielectric contact grease, put it in there, works perfectly now. Thank you very much for watching.